I'm Laurie Vitale, and on this episode of Laurie in the Kitchen, I want to show you what I call a stuffed pepper soup. It's basically a soup that tastes like a giant stuffed pepper, and it's really easy and delicious. We are approaching that beautiful time of year where it's one pot wonders, really lovely comfort food, and this is a really great one. And it's easy. And the recipe, the ingredients are things you probably already have on hand. So let me show you what I'm gonna put into it right now, and then I'll share the rest of the stuff with you later. You need lots of diced bell peppers. I got some carrots, celery, a little bit of onion, well, quite a bit of onion I should say, some ground beef, a little bit of garlic, that's what I meant to say. This is some passata. You could use any crushed tomato, diced tomato product you have. This is just one that I make every year. Olive oil, rice. I like to use arborio rice or risotto rice because it makes it really creamy. You need some salt, you're gonna need a little bit of beef stock, and then you're gonna need whatever cheese you'd like to use for your stuffed peppers. I'm gonna use a little bit of shredded provolone and some Parmigiano Reggiano. That's it. Easy and simple. I've got a big Dutch oven here with some olive oil, and to it I'm going to add my ground beef along with a pinch of salt. And I'm going to cook the ground beef until it's pretty much fully cooked through and develops some color, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. Beef is cooked, and I'm just removing it to a clean bowl because I want as much surface area as possible to cook my veggies. I need to add another little drizzle of oil because, as you can see, there's no fat rendered in there at all. My beef is really lean, so there's really not a lot of fat in there. So now a little bit more oil. I'm going to turn this down just a bit. I'm going to add all of those peppers, onion, and a little bit of celery and carrots, just because I like celery and carrots in pretty much any soup. I just feel like it gives you that soup vibe. It's a vibe, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of salt, and then I'm gonna cook it on medium heat for like 10 to 15 minutes. I really want these to cook down and develop some color. I don't wanna rush the process. I just want it to do its thing nice and low, because if you burn this, if you cook this with too high of a heat, you can tend to burn the outside of the pepper, but the inside still hasn't developed a really lovely sweetness. So I'm just going to cook this on medium, 10 to 15 minutes, or until it's where I want it. All right, that looks great. I'm going to add the beef back in because I want to add the garlic, and I kind of want them to cook all together for like 30 seconds, just to kind of wake up that garlic and get it really fragrant and aromatic and just incredible. It'll take about 20 seconds or so, giving it a stir the whole time, and it really smells incredible. I'm just going to crank the heat back up a little bit because I turned it down when the veggies were sauteing. I turned it down a little bit. This is good enough for me. Oh, it smells just delish. All right, so now I'm gonna add my stock and passata mixture, tomato mixture. I just poured it all in here so I could measure it all out. Whoa, buddy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now what I'm going to do, that's a piece of basil that I always add to my, when I'm canning sauces, when I'm canning my tomatoes, I should say, I always add basil. So I'm going to just bring this to a boil, partially cover, lower the heat to about medium low, and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Doesn't take a lot, doesn't take a long time, but it's going to be amazing when we're done. This looks fantastic. It's been simmering for about 25 minutes. I'm going to lower it just a little bit more. I also added just a small pinch of Italian seasoning, and now I'm going to add my rice. Now, I don't add a ton of rice. I'm only adding a little over half of a cup because arborio rice is very creamy, it's very starchy, and it's going to swell. So I don't want this to be a risotto. I want this to be a soup with some rice in it. So that's why I still want it to be thick and creamy, but I just don't add so much that it makes it almost hard to stir. I'm going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes until the rice is tender, and then we top with cheese, and then we mange. Yeah. Soup's done. Now I tasted it for seasoning. I adjusted the salt by adding another little pinch to it, and now I don't make any stuffed pepper without any provolone or like provola or anything like that, so I'm going to add a handful. Now provolone's really strong, so don't add too much. Otherwise, it's going to overpower the entire thing. But I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you what, it makes this absolutely outrageously good. Add a little bit of parm because, again, Nonna would not make any stuffed peppers without parm. Therefore, I would not make any stuffed peppers without parm. Beautiful. Give that a stir. And you can see the rice is cooked, but it's not super thick like a stew. It's lovely and just brothy enough to really be, I don't know, just yummy and comforting and smells outrageously good. And you know, it didn't take that long to cook. So as far as soup is concerned, it comes together pretty quickly, if I do say so myself. I gotta do this right now. Look how beautiful. The peppers and the carrots and everything, they're not mush. Therefore, you'll still be able to taste a little bit of their texture. You'll still be able to have a little bit of that texture in there. It smells like stuffed peppers. It's hot though, really hot. Mmm, that is to die for. Mmm, perfect. The provolone takes this home. It's like runs it home. It's perfection. It's lovely and comforting. It's not too heavy. It's just what the whole, it's fall, it's almost here. That's what this time of year calls for. It calls for things like this, and it is perfect. Go to laurainthekitchen.com, get the written recipe. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time.